Hello, it's Alina from Xactimate Mastery here, and today we're talking about an interesting subject that's circulating around our industry, and that is changing the default removal rate from the DMO category to the category in which you're working, such as RFG or DRY, or if you're framing, FRM, and changing that default setting in the removal pricing to increase your estimate. So I disagree with it. Okay, I'm going to give you my reasons why, and I know this will probably be a controversial video and probably a lot of chatter in the comments below, but let's go take a look at what this issue is and see what side of the fence that you think that you would be on in this situation. All right, so let's take a look at what I'm talking about. Here we are in an estimate. I've got the RFG 300 line item pulled up here, and I'm going to look at the removal only line item first. So if we go over to the right here and click on unit price, you can go to the remove price here, which is $42.55 for this price list. And I can go to this little I, and the I will break it down into what your material, equipment, labor, all of that is. And it looks like the equipment it's saying is $8.67. The retail labor is $33.88 for the removal portion of the roof. Now, when we look at that, over to the right, you can see that the trade is DMO. The big contention out there is that the DMO trade isn't the crew that's doing the removal of the roof. It's the actual same roofing crew that will put on the shingles, also takes off the shingles. They don't switch crews or anything like that. Or maybe in your area they do, what have you. So why are we using this general DMO rate when we should be using an RFG rate? So if I change this trade to RFG, now you can see the remove price is $75.40 here. If we go to the I can see that my retail labor is $66.73. I'm just going to hold this here on my calculator for just a second. So if we leave it at the RFG and we go to the replacements of shingles and look at the exact same thing in the replaced price, we're going to go to the little I right there, and you can see that the retail labor is $69.54. So if I add $66.73 from the removal to $69.54, we're at a total of $136.27 per square for R&R shingles. Is that reasonable and legitimate for what your subs charge you? Okay, I'm just putting that out there. Is that reasonable or legitimate? Those are two words we like to use when we are asking for things on estimates. Is that what subs would charge you? Because remember, O&P is a separate issue. That's what the general contractor gets paid. These line item prices come from retail labor rates that Xactware goes and canvasses and calls contractors for. So would a contractor actually state that it's $136 per square to R&R roof? I'm not sure. That's where it comes down to how you run your business and what you would like to ask for. So if that is typical for what your guys would charge you to remove a roof, if that $66 retail labor is more typical than the DMO trade, which is the $33.88. It's almost doubling the labor here when you do that. You know, that's up to how you run your business. To me, Xactware, if we're going to use it as an even-keeled playing field in the industry, we have to accept most of their defaults. There are some defaults that can be played around with, but this is a big one. You're doubling the removal labor. Xactware gets their pricing from average of contractors, right? They take the average contractor and then they average the average. So it's not like they're trying to skew the industry in any way unless this is seriously underpriced. So that's my issue with it. Again, this is a big default that it's going to be doubling your price for removal per square if I change this default, and that's why I had a little bit of an issue with this when I heard about it probably a year ago. So what I did is I emailed pricing@xactware.com. You can see it here. Emailed them right there because I had this issue, and I asked them, I recently saw or noticed that DMO is being used instead of the RFG trade. What's the reason behind this diminished labor pricing for removal? So here's what they replied to me. Basically, removal activities of most line items in Xactimate generally have a DMO labor. They associate that tradesperson with performance activity based on a common skill level required for the activity. We can modify it if we want to, but if it's needed or warranted, and so on and so forth. So if you want to discuss it further, there's their number if you'd like to give them a call. But they basically are just saying, this is a typical thing that is in Xactimate, and that's how they've set it up. So not any huge takeaways from that email, but I did want to share that with you. And I do encourage that you do the same thing whenever you have a pricing issue like this. Email them, give them a call at 800-932-9228, option 5, and they'll try to explain what's going on in the program to you. And again, I try not to rock the boat too much with adjusters because at the end of the day, you're not going to see many adjusters that are allowed to do this. If they do happen to change these types of things, it puts a red flag on their price list and will be included in their exact analysis report, and then their supervisor sees it. And it's a big deal to the adjuster. So adjusters literally can get fired for doing things like this. Again, I'm going to find something else to get paid, something that's legitimate and reasonable. And we're still going to be, at the good end of the spectrum at the end of the day, using all the line items that we should be using. Again, going back to legitimate and reasonable. So there's the issue. Please tell me what you think about this in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and I'd love to get a good discussion going here. I don't think it's warranted, but hey, I'd love to hear what you guys think, what your actual labor rates are out there, and maybe I'm totally off base. My name is Alina Wilson from Xactimate Mastery. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe for our weekly updates. Also, if you want to know more about Xactimate Mastery and what we do, go visit www.xactimatemastery.com, and I will see you next week.